Send it.
Go up to the comments. All right, folks, what's going on? We got 0 people right now.
Ooh.
We're talking to ourselves.
New tops.
Noah, they all showed up to see you.
Look what you did, Noah.
Look what you did.
New top record.
Oh, 2 people showed up for you. Here we go.
Wait, what do you
We're
see?
starting to see where the eyes?
Yeah, I see.
We got 2 eyes right now.
Actually,
Hey,
4.
folks, what's going on? Make sure if you're coming in, we got 5. Justin, good to see you. Go ahead and say hello.
Shannon, hello.
Shannon, say hello. Who else we got out there? Got some more peeps. Go ahead and throw up some comments. We have a very, very special guest tonight. He is a leader in this industry. He's a subject matter expert in so many things. Ballistics, hand-to-hand combat. He knows the death touch. All that good stuff, right? Been to Cambodia twice on secret ops missions.
Doing really well with wrestling this year. Huh.
Hey, Justin, what's going on? We met Chris the other day. I saw you called. I meant to call you back and just forgot.
Justin said
Can everybody hear us okay?
Justin said he's jealous of the background.
We continue to play with audio, continue to play with
Emilio's watching.
New additions to the setup, so it continues to add complications. Aaron's back there. We forgot to put you a mic back there again, Aaron.
All good.
I'm going to put a close-up camera so we can watch you. We can switch to your face. Tyler, what's going on, buddy? John Walsh, how are you, bud? We'll give everybody a few minutes to come on in. I got a really cool, we're going to try to stream a video for you, a very short one, but it'll give you an idea of what's going on. I will be releasing a review on Tuesday. You guys are going to get the first to see a lot of that. We'll talk about exactly what that's about, and we'll kind of go from there. Yeah, Josh, we're looking forward to having you down. Good. How was everybody's week? Hopefully everybody had a good week. Going into next week.
Yeah, we're going to get the spring weather here.
Yeah, it is definitely. So today I was out shooting a shoot. I was actually videoing, doing some shooting. Oh my God, it was so cold out there today.
And windy.
And very windy. Very windy, very cold. Anybody else that is in the area? Chris, did you guys lose power? Because we sure did. They said we weren't gonna have power until good, Josh. Going to the range tomorrow. Nice.
We weren't supposed to have power till
we weren't
10
supposed to
p.m.
have power till 10 p.m. When did it go out? Like 5 a.m.?
Yeah. I woke up when it went out.
I woke up all ticked off, angry. Some of this.
Yes, he did.
I had so much stuff to do.
I was like,
it's been a blast. Trash dumpsters in the driveway. Good.
we need a trash dumpster in our driveway for a little
We do
while.
need a trash dumpster. Exactly.
Oh, Chris said their trampoline ended up in the woods. Noah woke up this morning. He said, I bet our trampoline is turned upside down. I was like,
It
nope.
wasn't, was it?
I staked it down.
Oh. Nice.
Remy told me about the trampoline
Oh,
How did
yeah.
he tell you?
at
Yes.
school.
Oh.
He's in Noah's class at school,
that's
remember?
okay.
Yeah, I staked down the trampoline a while.
Yeah, it sounded, not that I was awake, but Summer told me about it because I slipped right through that son of a gun. But Summer said she thought the house was going to blow down. We thought there was a tornado going on out there.
Hey, Chris, they make stakes for trampolines. Just FYI.
Absolutely.
It was a sad morning.
Yeah. It gets, James says, hey, Noah.
James.
Say hello.
Got James and
Hey, James.
Sweet.
and Emilio watching.
Nice.
And probably Remy.
Probably Remy.
Yeah, we've had a couple of days this week where it was sunny, and I think it was like Tuesday. I saw it was sunny. I was like, oh, I'm definitely taking the motorcycle. And I looked at the temperature on the wall. It was 22. I was like, nah, not so much. Definitely ready for some warm weather.
Yesterday it was nice.
Yesterday was nice. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a quick video I shot of the review that we are currently in the midst of. I got some more stuff to do tonight. I think I'm going to finish it up today or tomorrow, and then I will be posting it probably on Tuesday. Aaron, go ahead and let's see if this thing works. Give me some microphone volume. Or maybe it's just All right, so this is what we got going on. This is what I've been working on. How long have I been doing this review?
I don't know. Since you've been grumpy? No, I'm just kidding.
Speaking of which, John Walsh, you guessed correctly. It was the Daniel Defense Delta Pro 5. And
John is the winner.
You're the winner. You're going to get the US Optics anti-cant device. We'll be sending that to you. And there you go. Yeah, so folks, I've been doing a review of this rifle all week, and been a lot to it. I mentioned in my video that it may not be the shortest video on the internet with this rifle, but it'll definitely be the most thorough. I went through everything on this rifle. I talk about what's going on. Shot it. I probably got about 20 or 30 rounds through it right now. And it's just worked. It's worked flawlessly so far. So been really impressed with this rifle. Again, I don't want to give you away everything. I want you to definitely go watch the review when it goes out. But I'll tell you right now, if you decide to buy this rifle, you won't be going wrong. One of the cool things that I found out, I actually talked to Daniel Defense. I let them know I was doing a review on this, and I had some questions that I couldn't find on the internet. And we were talking about one of my concerns was that these barrels are proprietary, meaning that you can't just buy, they're not like a Bartlane, or they're not like a Remington 700 pattern barrel. So my concern was that you could only buy the barrels, through Daniel Defense, and that is true. But here's the other thing about it that I didn't realize. He said, because the main question I had that I couldn't find on the internet or on their website was, how many rounds should we expect out of this barrel? And they said with the guy that I was shooting to was one of their sales reps, but he was also one of their shooters, and they're getting about 4,600 rounds out of this barrel in 6.5. I said, but that brought me to, hey, are these proprietary? Are they easy to replace? What's going on with that? If you shoot these barrels out of Daniel Defense, they'll replace them. So I've never heard of that before. I think that says a lot about the company.
And they'll cover the expense. Is that what you mean?
What do you mean?
When you said they'll replace it?
They'll replace it for free.
Yeah.
They'll replace the barrel for free. So there was two things that I broke my trim.
Sorry. That's what I'm here for.
I don't remember what I was saying now. My train of thought was very fragile. Very, very easily broken.
Gossip. There are two things.
Yeah, I don't remember the two things. Yeah, so anyways, they will replace these barrels, and they're getting about 4,600 rounds out of them. And man, it is a beautiful, beautiful barrel. I'll in the review, I have some pretty good close-ups of this. The barrel just looks nice. It has an area 419, and I've already cleared this. We got the bolt up. We have an area 419 Hellfire brake on this thing. I got it on there pretty tight. It is right inside there we go. reverse threaded. So I don't know if you guys have actually used any of their the Area 419 brakes, but they're super easy to install. I got a little carbon lock on there from today. Anyways, you'll see it on the video. But these things, you just put it on. Where it threads on, the collar is independent of the brake itself. So if you've ever installed a brake, you know what a pain it is to do that. To actually run that. Can you make that screen bigger? I don't know why it seems so small tonight. Probably not. Yeah, down at the bottom. There we go. Boom. But does it fold, or are they selling the folding? So great question. I covered that in the video as well, but that is a great question. The replacement. So the answer is yes. They don't have it out yet. They have it designed. They have it done. They'll be selling it separately. I don't know what the price is on the folding stock mechanism, but they do have it. It's 2 bolts. There's 1 bolt going into the buttstock itself right here. Matter of fact, just take a look. There's a hollow. You guys see this hollow portion? All right, so there's 1 bolt that goes down into the buttstock itself, and then 1 into the receiver. So 2 bolts, and you pull that out. There's a spacer there. That spacer will be replaced with the folding mechanism, and I don't know exactly when that'll come out. He said probably expect that within a month or 2. Tops. They're having some issues with everybody. They're having some supply issues, but they have it, designed, should be ready to go. So that'll be nice. The stock itself is excellent. It does everything that you need it to. It does everything really well. It does. So just to show you too, one of the problems with stocks. Actually, no. Let's trade spots, but I'll take your headphones off. Keep those headphones on. You're good. So, just to kind of show you, one of the issues you always have with stocks is, it's not really an issue, but one of the things that goes on with stocks is, usually on this mechanism right here that adjusts your cheek pad height, normally you got to hold it in place. You got to try. They actually have a spring mechanism there that holds it in place so that you can adjust it. I actually just got down. I set it high. I put my cheek on it, pushed it down to where I wanted it, and it stays there. And then I just tighten it down. That's how I adjusted it today. It does. This is tightened right now, but you can move your cheek pad toe in, toe out. Obviously, length of pull is completely adjustable. We also have the height, elevation, the vertical adjustment for the butt pad itself. It has an excellent. I really like this. I really like this thumb rest over here. That's ambidextrous and adjustable. Man, there's just nothing bad about this rifle. This rifle is everything that I'd hoped the 110 Elite was. The 110 Elite is still really good, but I'll tell you, between the two of them, I would spend the extra $300 or $400 or whatever it is, the difference between the two, and I would definitely get this one. And honestly, that extra expense would be worth it just because of the fact that 5,000 rounds down the road, you'll be able to replace that barrel for free, so that'll more than make up for the cost. It's also user interchangeable. You just take these bolts off down here, you slide this off, and then it actually has a barrel nut right there. It goes on and off just like an AR-15 barrel. Let me just say with that. One thing that he told me about that I thought was really ingenious. Number one, the fact that it changes like a lot like an AR-15 barrel. But number two, it actually has a 360-degree recoil lug. Folks, you don't realize that most rifles like that, they have a recoil lug only at the bottom. And it's not a major issue in that you can start to heat these guns up and they'll start to flex, or you move them. Basically, they're braced in one spot. So it's really cool that this is actually braced 360 degrees around for that barrel nut mechanism. I talked about more on how the forend actually slides on its dovetail into 2 grooves down here at the bottom and then locks into place. And I talk about the engineering of that, which I think is really, really impressive. Scott, I got the Varmint. This is the Varmint 8. The Palma is obviously a little bit lighter, and this is the 26-inch.
6.5 Creed.
6.5 Creed, 6.5 Creed. And they also make it in 308, 6.5 Creed, and 6mm. But he said they're also coming out with some additional calibers as well. So I think, I asked them if they were going to be coming out with 6.5 PRC or 300 PRC. I think 6.5 PRC is definitely on the one of the first to-dos. So, I mean, it's just an excellent gun. There's just nothing bad to say about the thing. What else? What other questions you got about it?
Somebody was asking who our guest host was tonight.
Our guest host. This is Noah. Say hi to Theodore. I was just telling everybody, he's basically a subject matter expert in a lot of different combat sports, martial arts, shooting, explosives. Basically a squad of killers all built in one little man. Daryl, it's good to see you, man.
Scott.
Yeah, Scott, like I said, wait for my full review to come out. I won't say we have another one in stock, but we have another one in stock. But I think I'll tell you right now, it's definitely worth it. As a matter of fact, let's talk a little bit about. So today it was cold as heck, but I wanted to get some footage shooting it. I wanted to get some groups out of there. I didn't spend a lot of time out there, but basically what I did a rough 0, and then I basically shot 2 groups. I'm going to have Aaron pull them up. Let's pull up the first one. So the very first one, hopefully everybody can see that. Did you change it over on the switcher?
Yeah, you have it up on your screen?
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing the ATM. I'm seeing the same thing you're seeing right now. So I don't know what they're seeing on the StreamYard.
Yeah.
So, all right. So basically this group right here is actually a 6-round shot group. You can see that one down low left. That was my 3rd shot. And this is the very first group. So we probably got I probably used 4 rounds, maybe 5 rounds or so to get it on paper before this and to 0 it, right? Got a rough 0. So this is the first sitting down. This is probably around the first of this group was probably around the first, the 6th through 11th round. But basically what we got there, I threw that one on the 3rd shot down at the bottom. So even with that is a 0.65-ish MOA. So shooting from the prone, off my backyard, wind blowing, cold, haven't squeezed the trigger on a long gun since last year. So that's that's pretty good. I mean, most rifles, if you got a 0.65 on a bad day, you're doing pretty good MOA wise. So now this is the same group, and all I did was discard that one flyer. So now we're looking at it. Pull that back down again for me. No. The way that you had it, where I could see the StreamYard. Yep, just pull it down. There we go. All right, so we discarded that one. Now we're at a 0.45. So that's 5 rounds. I called that flyer down there at the bottom. So that's really good, right? So they claim half MOA. And again, this is just shooting off bipods. This isn't bench rest. This isn't anything crazy like that. Now, and so now after that, after I warmed up a little bit, felt comfortable with the gun. This was the second and last group that I shot. And this is a 5-round shot group with 147 ELD, Hornady match 147 ELD. You can check this out. All right, so again, that's 5 rounds in there, folks. That's 0.35 MOA. The whole thing fits under a dime. 147 ELD. Scott, it was Hornady 147 ELD. So that's the second shot group of the entire the rifle, but on top of that, second shot group I've shot this year. So again, this rifle just feels great. And that's with right now. So this comes with a Chimney Elite Hunter trigger. It's adjustable from 4 pounds down to 1.5. It's running about 3.25 pounds. In the video, I test it. I do some trigger pulls on it with the trigger gauge. It's running about 3.5 pounds. And I think without killing myself, I could do that pretty consistently, especially if we get this trigger pull weight down to about 1.5. I usually I like my triggers are about 1.5. So, and again, that's off the shelf ammo, Hornady match, the ELDs, 147 grain. So a lot of really cool stuff going on with this rifle. Again, it comes with an Area 419 muzzle brake. That brake is really nice. It definitely reduces recoil. Definitely one of the best muzzle brakes in the market. But folks, just the fact that it's so easy to install. If you've ever installed a muzzle brake, you know what a pain it is. The barrel, those are cold hammer 4s in-house. Dale Defense makes these barrels himself. The pattern on this thing is just, it's beautiful. It's Cerakoted. Again, if you shoot it out, they'll replace it. Then you come back here to the forend. This forend is really well designed. Not only do we have an ARCA rail on the bottom, but it's actually an Area 419 ARCA lock rail. So normally you're going to go spend $200 buying an ARCA lock rail. So, and if you don't know what that is, basically our 419, they make an attachment that goes to bipods, it goes to shooting rests, whatever it is, and it allows it to clamp onto the rail, the ARCA rail. But with those, there's grooves in here. Again, watch the entire review. But there's also a button you push on that so that you can slide that accessory up and down. You let go of the button, and it locks onto the bottom. So it's locked into place, but you can move it very quickly. So you can move a shooting bag forward, back, your bipods, whatever it is. So that's a $200 accessory just by itself. And then I talk in depth about how this is mates into the lower receiver. It's pretty cool what they did with that.
John said he's pretty sure that you can switch calibers on it also.
Yes. So yeah, they are making additional barrels. Again, the shooter, I haven't taken off the barrel yet. The guy that I was talking to at Dale Defense said they are user interchangeable and you can change them out. He said he does it at the range between 5 and 7 minutes. So under 10 minutes, you can switch this barrel out, throw a different caliber on there, and then you're good to go. So that's really cool, right? Yep. Daryl said, "What's the price on that bad boy?" It's about $8,000, but it's worth it. No, so they MSRP is. So here's the deal with PRS competition: you can stay in the manufacturer class, production class, if you're under $24.99, under $2,500. That's when this is retails for MSRPs for $24.99. They're going for more. No, Scott, Dale Defense designed and is making this chassis, by the way. They designed everything on this. They're making everything on it. The action is by Daniel Defense. They designed, it's a 3-lug. It's a 3-lug action. But yeah, so anyways, the MSRP on this is $24.99. But honestly, everything that we've been looking at, they're going for more than that. So you can take a look at that. So they're in pretty high demand. And there's the MSRP, and then there's the actual street price. And fortunately or unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, this one tends to go a little bit more on the street. Some are saying it says MSRP on Daniel Defense is $26.99.
Yeah,
I don't know. So, anyways, I know that there's a cutoff, what's considered production of PRS, and they're trying to keep it underneath that cutoff. Yeah, so at Alberto, we do have long-range courses on our, they're up. So, yes, we're going to have some long-range courses up there. We have not only long-range courses this year, but we also will have mid to long-range carbine courses. I was just actually up to Peacemaker today checking out, I haven't been out on the long-range area that they call Frontier in several years now. If you guys don't know, we used to train out there all the time. There's a new owner, or I wouldn't be out there again. So there's new ownership there. So we don't have the problems that we had before. But anyways, I went up there. They made a lot of improvements since we've been out there. It's a pretty amazing long range. Now, for folks that haven't been out there in a long time, there's a pavilion there now. There's shooting benches up at top. We can shoot out to, I think they have targets out there to about 1,100 to 1,200 right now. And they go out. I know at one time we could put targets out to 14. I don't know if that's still the case. The area where we used to put those targets, I saw it was cut out. Probably can. We just got to get permission to make sure it's good.
Yeah. If you go to our website and click on schedule, you can find those classes.
Daryl, you come on by and we'll talk. We'll see how cheap we can get you into one.
John, you're right. They are very tough to find in stock.
Yes.
But, I might know somebody.
Yep. We might know. So there's two things. Number one,
And they're selling for well above. There's like
Yeah,
you
they're
said,
selling-
the street price is
they're
different
selling
than
for
what-
above retail right now. If you go on like Gunbroker and things like that, we saw some that were over like $3,200.
Mhm.
So, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, they're tough to find. And I can tell you again, talking to Daniel Fence, they're having issues with supplies, just like everybody else's materials and things like that. And for those of you who missed it, yeah, everything on here is designed, other than the things that they integrated from Area 419, the Arcalock rail, but the entire chassis, the action and everything is designed in-house at Daniel Defense and built and machined in-house, which I thought was also cool too. So again, you know, I hate when you're dealing with manufacturers and you start running into production consistency issues because of aftermarket parts, you know, things like that. So, you know, we have bought and sold rifles before that, you know, have another name brand, and then you go hit up the another name brand barrel or whatever it is, and then you go hit up the manufacturer that you're having the issue with, and it's like, you know, they throw it onto the manufacturer, and all those things may be true, but it's nice to know that they have everything in-house, their quality control, every piece of this gun, and it's not you know, they're not dealing with a lot more variables from different companies. So I thought that was really cool. And again, two things, this is what I was saying earlier, two things that I thought says a lot about Daniel Defense. Number one, they immediately, less than 24 hours, when I sent them some questions, they got back to me. So, and they called me, and the guy called me, and we talked for quite a bit. I went over a bunch of different questions on this rifle, and he was able to answer every single one of them. Number two, the other thing says a lot about the rifle, if they believe in their product enough to replace the barrels for free if they're shot out. Now, you know, I said, what was the, you know, can somebody just call you up and say, my barrel shot out? And he's like, no, you're going to send us the barrel. We're going to test it. So if it is shot out and it's not holding that half MOA guarantee, which they guarantee half MOA, or they will replace your barrel. Or replace any part of the gun. And they said, whatever it takes. If it's not just the barrel and there's some other issue that's causing accuracy problems, they're gonna fix it. So, you know, I enjoyed getting to talk to them because, again, they sounded like they had a company that, and I've never talked directly with anyone from Daniel Defense. Didn't know what to expect, but what I got was good news. So that was really cool. They do come with a 10-round AICS pattern magazine. So all your AI mags, if you have metal mags, it comes with a Magpul mag. But if they do come with, they will work with additional AI mags. It has an ambidextrous thumb release paddle down here on the bottom. You can activate that from the right or the left side. Oh, yeah. So the Chimney trigger, it comes with that Chimney Elite Hunter. That is a basic Remington pattern trigger. So if you want something else, it's easy to do. I can tell you, I didn't think I was going to like this trigger. I would still prefer a flat trigger in here. I may end up, you know, getting one with a flat trigger. But again, it felt good. It felt really good. I would lighten that trigger down. We actually plan on selling this rifle at a discounted rate as a demo rifle. Yeah, it's been shot. We've got about 30 rounds through it at this point. Just playing around with it and stuff. So,
great way to get a little discount and have
yeah,
like new rifle.
It's a light new rifle, and it's better than new because here's the thing. One of the things that I did, and I talk about, folks, this comes with a 20 MOA rail, and it's machined there again in-house by Daniel Defense. But it also comes with number 10, these huge, massive bolts that bolt, 4 of them that bolt that rail down to the action. If you don't know, most of the time, you know, Remingtons, they come with number 6 bolts. If you can upgrade them sometimes to number 8, and some of the 110 Elite back here, all right, that comes with number 8 bolts. But compared to those number 10s, they're small. And if you've been doing long range long enough, you're going to know that there's going to be a time when suddenly your gun's not shooting right, and you're going to check the scope. You're going to check 1,000 different things. You're going to check your scope mounts, and come to find out one of those little bolts has come loose or that's broken. It happens all the time. And now you have a broken bolt that is broken into the action, the top of the action, that you got to easy out or drill out or whatever it may be. It's a pain. And the fact that they make these massive bolts with a screw type head that's wedged out. So when you tighten it down, it provides additional. That's amazing. So on top of that, I also took those out and I put Vibrotite on them and then retorqued them down. So really, you're getting a
Better than new.
Better than new. All right.
It's got the Gary touch.
It's stupid proof.
Dan says if it was OD green, he'd buy it and frame it. Shot by Gary. Justin wants to know what Noah thinks about the rifle.
Yeah, no.
What do you think about the rifle? You think it's
I like
cool?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about it?
I don't know.
You don't know? He didn't get to shoot it today. I was just wrapping up. He was coming home from school. So he didn't get, I pulled the bolt out because I just want to show you. It does have a 3 lug, has a floating bolt head on here. And what that does for you, it's a 3 lug action, which is nice. Man, this thing locks up really smooth. So I was a little concerned. You can see there's a little bit of wiggle and stuff in there. But as soon as you put your magazine with rounds in there, man, that whole thing just tightens up. It's built to the right tolerance to where suddenly it feels like garbage. And then you put that magazine in, it doesn't feel like garbage. Even as it is, this is still tighter tolerances than the Savage back there. But as soon as you put that magazine in there, they clearly built this to the right tolerance to where the pressure of that magazine just tightens everything up, and it goes from feeling an all right action to an amazing action. It fed correctly. It just locks up nice and tight. It's just really, really great. But what that floating bolt head does for you is, you're not going to always have your chamber and everything perfect, or the round in perfect alignment. And this floating bolt head, it just moves, fractions of millimeters, just a little bit left, right, up and down. Not up and down, but it just moves a little bit. But what that does, it just gives you a little bit of grace to where it floats in there and it lines that cartridge up and lines up and locks correctly with the chamber. So it just a little bit of a float there to basically just make everything cycle better. And it's a great design, and it's a design you only see on some of the higher end custom rifles.
Dan, that's not the Protean on there. That's the Accutac FC4
Yep.
Arc of Spec.
That's the Accutac FC4 Arc Spec,
Yep.
as Summer said.
What
Yep.
I just said.
I know.
Yep. John wants to know what scope you'd recommend to shoot out to 1,000 yards.
So I just kind of went through this problem, not really a problem, but I went through this problem solving with a client of mine. Go grab that knife for us. Folks, all the good scopes, some of the lesser cost scopes, for instance, Vortex. The Vortex Razor HDs cost as much as Night Force now. So honestly, if you can afford it, get yourself either a Night Force or Collis. Collis is a really good optic as well. I would be looking, number one, first focal plane, something in the 5 to 25 or 7 to 35 or somewhere in there. But magnification isn't everything. Because this scope, it has a 34 millimeter tube, has a 56 millimeter objective lens, pretty much the Hubble telescope, and has a really large ocular lens. Even though this is only a 25, a 25 magnification, it only goes with 25 magnification, the image out of this is going to be clearer and larger than a lot of the other scopes that go to 35 or whatever else, that have smaller objective, have smaller tubes, have smaller objective lenses, and most of those have a lot less quality glass. So you're getting a lot more image transparency. Light is transmitting through there a lot better. And then you have a large ocular lens back here. It's basically like giving you a full screen or a large screen TV view. So, and that's the thing too, is you kind of can have a 4K, say you have a 4K TV, but if it's a cheap 4K TV and then it's a small one, all right, it's definitely, even though they're both 4K, even though they both go to 35 or 25, a large one that's going to cost a little bit more, that has some better technology in there, it's going to be much more clear. You're going to see the higher definitions. That's really one of the best ways that I can kind of explain optics. You won't go wrong buying Night Force. You won't go wrong buying Collis. You won't go wrong buying Vortex HD, anything from the HD line. The Bushnell Elite series are really good too. The XRS, which is this one, great. So, and then this is a great example. This is the highest, the best optic that at one time, they now are coming out with the XRS3. So this is the top of the line for Bushnell. It goes to 30. It does have a 34 millimeter tube, but only has a 50 millimeter objective lens. But there are definitely some things better with the Night Force compared to this. And the 30 power image out of this doesn't compare to the 25 power image out of that. But to kind of shorten my answer for you, John, you want a good scope that can at least go to about 25 power, that can do that well. Again, some of those, the cheaper scopes, as you go up in magnification, your image is actually going to get worse. It's going to get more distorted. It's going to have more mirage. And honestly, what you're seeing in that at those higher magnifications, where you see that target in space, because it's creating mirage and distortion, is not actually where that target is. So there's a lot to know about scopes, and magnification is not everything. You want good glass, larger ocular tube. I'm sorry, larger main tube, and then a larger objective lens with a lot of good glass in there. Speaking of which, what's also great about this too is they have this cutout. If you guys notice, there's a whole cutout here, so that you can buy those low scope rings. You can buy low scope rings. Keep your optic close to the barrel, keeping that your actual optic close to the bore axis, and lower on the gun, which is what you want, without this piece impeding your that bell housing, that objective lens. So that was a really smart design as well, and really cool as well. What other questions? They thought about moon dust stoppages. Is that a question or a statement, Scott?
I'm sure that's a statement.
I don't know. Aaron, I haven't. I've heard good things about them. I haven't used. I've heard good things about them. Honestly, at the end of the day, and again, I know optic price isn't everything, and I'll tell you, for 98% of shooters out there, Aaron, an optic like Arkin or some of these cheaper optics is going to more than do what you need it to do, right? But if you're serious about shooting long range or getting into competition, there's a reason why I guarantee you don't see a bunch of Arkin optics running on competitors' long guns. There's only a few that you see pretty regularly, and again, it's Bushnell Elite right now, Vortex, HD, Night Force, and Collis. So they're good, and they're going to do for probably half the price. You're going to get 90% of what these other optics will do, especially at the ranges that most people are using them. They're not shooting out to 1,000 yards, but there again, without a doubt, when those optics are cheaper, they have less quality glass. Period. They have less. The mechanics in here are not nearly as precise. They don't have all the features and some of the bells and whistles. They're where a lot of companies really cheapen on optics is when we start getting into the when we're dealing with parallax. Their parallax isn't very precise because those are things that you can't quantify. It's hard to know if your parallax actually works unless you're shooting tall targets and checking to see if all the clockwork in here does, is 20 mils actually 20 mils in those Arkin. I don't know, but those are things that I'd be happy to test out. So maybe we'll get some of those and kind of compare them to some of the other ones and see really how far we can push this thing. Noah, do you have a favorite rifle?
No, I don't really shoot
Oh.
that much.
Oh yeah,
You haven't been shooting very much.
we haven't showed him the new one.
So we got a new rifle for the kids. They haven't even seen it yet.
They didn't even know we bought it.
They didn't. They haven't seen it yet, but it's pretty freaking sweet. Oh yeah. Well, that makes sense, Scott. So Scott's saying because they were testing these guns out in the sand, basically, that's why they built that floating head to make room for the moon dust, and that's exactly right. So what we have here.
I didn't clear it.
That looks like the gun that
This is a 22.
Yeah, AR pistol.
A little AR pistol 22. I'm pretty excited about shooting this. I wasn't even going to tell them about it, but we're going to throw a can on here and take this thing out and do some
that looks like the
plinking.
the gun that I shot at the range, and then I got that like.
Yep, your
Got a
black.
little
Yep, that's
scope
true.
fight.
So check that out. Keep pointing safe direction. Pretty sweet. Notice, hold your gun up. Look, folks. Notice straight finger. Even a 5-year-old knows it. He's 8.
I'm an 8.
I know. I just yeah. So that should be a lot
You're
of
gonna
fun.
love it. I recognize it from my safe. Super light and fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I go check your safe. It's not there anymore. That was the one.
That was it. Surprise, Noah.
Yeah, Josh. John, if you want to send it. We've talked about that before. If you want to send that to me, again, I'm going out of town. I'm actually headed to Turkey on Sunday. So when I get back, let's talk about sending it to me, and I'll do a good review on it. Check it out, see what I think, and we'll do a tall target test on it. See what the mechanics are in there. We'll do a deep dive on that thing. I'd love to.
Dan, yes, it is. It's the 22 Smith & Wesson Sport.
Yeah, so it won't hurt your shoulder, Dan, like those big 5.56 do. I know. You should have seen Dan scream when he shoots 5.56.
Tyler said send Noah to teach Alec Baldwin how to handle a gun.
Right? You could definitely do it. I'll tell you, there's another accessory that I used today that I thought was really, really cool. We've had them for a while, and I've had one over there. I've been meaning to. I lost it. I've had this over here for a while, and I've been meaning to review it. I have a detailed Tacticam review that I did, which I really like, folks. And this is their Tacticam Spotter. So this snaps onto your spotting scope, and it is really good. I've looked at the footage. It is 4K. I also like the fact that this screen, flips around. It's like a nice flippy screen that you'd have on some of the nicer cameras. But that thing worked out really great today. A lot of different capabilities. So if you have a spotting scope and you want to capture something in that spotting scope, this thing is the way to do it. I already have the oh, and by the way, this whole thing is 8 ounces. I need to do a full review on this. It is super light. It's actually unbelievably light, but you sure can, bud.
Dan said
Jeez.
put the M&P on the store. Emilio wants one. Well, I tried to get more than one to do just that, but they were they only had
There was
one.
only one.
There was only one, and we got it.
But Amelia can come over and shoot it.
And we'll be on the lookout for one. For
Yeah.
him.
Yep.
And he can come.
He says
run.
Emilio wants one.
Yeah, I know.
I'm pretty sure it's not Emilio that wants one.
Sorry, son. I gotta go shoot this. Make sure it's safe. I'll see you next week.
You can bring Amelia over to ride my dirt bike too.
Yeah. Ride the dirt bike, do some shooting. Be a fun day. Do a little camping. Another $400 camera.
Yeah, it's not quite as good as the A74 over there,
That
but
he got for $400.
a $400 A74.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. These kids, they don't even know how
these
good they
kids are
got it.
spoiled. They got the Red Riders out there too, but yep. Do most of the ranges around here have an age limit?
Do most of the range.
Sorry.
That question.
Yes. Daryl said he.
Yeah, so a lot of the ranges do have age limit. I don't know what that age limit is, but I'm sure you're right, Daryl.
Yeah, I guess so for
liability reasons.
liability reasons.
Yeah.
Oh, Dean's here. Hey,
Dean,
Dean.
good to see you, Dean.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't see you, but I see you typing. I see your face in my heart.
Dean, I need you to come live in residence for a little while and build some of your beautiful bookcases and
All the other
I have so
crazy
many
stuff.
projects planned that you would do beautifully.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What I do is not good enough.
No. Says when we get some land and you come out with Gary, we'll let the kids shoot.
Yeah, Justin, I'll design a range for you. You just bring the dirt haulers. I'll tell them where to haul it. Build it up safe for you.
Aaron says, what do you use for a spotting scope?
That's a great question. This is also a $400 spotting scope.
And time wars.
Ah, thank God I got over that $400 a little while ago before the next $400 hit.
So this is we'll just pull this thing off.
Can't really see it that well back there.
I know.
Dean says, if you can afford to feed me, I'll come. Dean, I will feed you anytime, working or not. I just smoked another pork shoulder a couple days ago.
That's the Swarovski BTR 80, I believe it is. Yeah, so that's it's a nice spot scope, to say the least. Again, you'll see some images out of it. I'll tell you, I was looking at I was videoing from the spotting scope and from the top of the deck when I was shooting today, and I looked at the footage that I had coming off here, and I actually had the reticle. The reticle is an electronic reticle, and I had it turned up too high, so it's a little bit. It's just too high. It's not as fine as it looks. But anyways, yeah. So that's a really nice spotting scope. It's definitely not for everybody because they are really expensive. We actually have two of these, and the reason that I spent the money that I did on this is because obviously when you're running long range schools, the last thing that you want to be telling people is, "Oh, I didn't see it." And my God, if you can't see the round or trace with that thing, as much light as it takes in, you need to have your eyes checked. So
Justin says, please don't share the cost of items. I made that mistake when I called Gary recently.
I know, right? Yeah. Justin revealed how much I really spent on the Roadcaster over there.
Mm-hmm. Theo says, do you have a favorite Plinking target brand?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot out there. Oh, Plinking target brand.
Does that mean like
a brand of target or
a spotting scope for that?
A cheaper spotting scope? I'll let Theodore. As far as some of the cheaper spotting scopes out there, you can get. It just depends on what your budget is, right? Again, and what you're trying to do. Pretty much, you can find everything for under $400. That's
even Noah knows.
That's my spending limit. $400.
Anything over $400 requires paperwork.
Is that a cam and spotting scope? Sorry for not listening. So no, it's not a camera. It's just a spotting scope. It's just
you can put the
Tacticam spotting scope. I don't have the adapter right now. It's over there somewhere. But you just click it onto there and lock that down. There's a cam lock back there, and then you can video in 4K with it. So that was actually pretty impressive today. Again, it was the first time that I had pulled that out and had time to mess with it or had a reason to. Again, it's been sitting over there, and I've been meaning to do a review on it. I just haven't got around to it, but I wish I'd done that a long time ago. And a review is coming on that. Oh, for a small 22 for the family. Well, it just depends on what you want. There's lots of good 22s out there. What I've been meaning to buy is one of the Henry 22 lever actions. I've been meaning to buy them a couple that I want to. We got a laser engraver, and I've been meaning to laser that and engrave that. So they'll have that forever. So those are good. I mean, any of the Rugers, the Ruger 1022s, I mean, you can't. I got one from my grandpa over there. We have a newer model one that has synthetic stock that we bought a few years ago. But I got a Ruger 1022 over there from like the 60s or 70s that my grandfather gave me. So those are great. I mean, there's so many options now. If you want an AR-10, we got an M&P, another one like that, but a full-size M&P AR-10, AR-15 22.
Also fun.
But
I will say I love shooting that lever action.
Yeah, the 4570.
The 4570. So, I mean,
I definitely want to get
that in 22 would be.
Yeah. The lever actions are just really cool. I mean, it's just, they're just a lot of fun. And that 4570 round, man, that's just so much fun to shoot.
Yeah. Not
the gun, but the targets. I would say those, it just depends on what you're doing with it too, Theodore. Shoot and see are nice because you can see, just creates a bigger impact area so you can see what's going on.
I really enjoy
what on earth are you doing?
I really enjoy shooting steel. I like the audible feedback, but that's just me.
So, there's a bunch of different targets out there, that's for sure.
Justin says, what do you recommend for home safety for a family for all to use? Wife, dad, teens, mother-in-law, a shotgun, handgun, etc.
An AR.
I know the answer to that.
All right, an AR. Get you you know, like an AR pistol, short barreled AR, just a full size AR. This is the easiest gun to use. It's the easiest gun to use under stress. Make sure you're using frangible rounds. That's another video I need to redo, but use frangible rounds. You can also use varmint rounds. Those will do the same thing. And as far as over penetration, they won't. Those rounds will actually over penetrate less than a lethal round that you'd use in the shotgun, whether you're talking about buckshot or a slug. So an AR-15, they're just hard to beat. They're easy to throw on attachments, lights, laser beams, gadgets, propellers, chainsaws. You can pretty much throw anything on there. So AR-15 for home defense. Nontron says, I've been wondering if it's okay to use steel ammo in a bolt gun. Well, depends on what bolt gun. If it's a precision bolt gun, hell no. You know, if it's a gun, you know, if it's an older gun like a Mosin Nagant, some of these other ones that, you know, accuracy is not. If you want a gun that's going to shoot under a minute and keep it shooting under a minute, then don't use steel. If it's just a regular bolt gun that it's not really going to matter, and it's not that accurate to begin with, you'll probably be fine using it. I don't know that I've ever actually done that. I'm just speculating, to be honest with you, Non. So if you try it and your gun blows up, it's not my fault. But tell me about that outcome, though. I would like the knowledge of it. But no, it should be fine. But again, I've never personally done that.
See, now John wants to know where he can get the chainsaw attachment.
I'm working on it. I got the patent done. I'm just working on it. No, they actually make one. I forgot who it was. I know I saw pictures of it from SHOT Show, or at least an attachment that you could put a small chainsaw on it. But they have it. What other questions we got?
This family show is dangerous for my bank account. Sorry, Scott.
You can't bring it with you, Scott.
It's dangerous.
You can bring your guns with you, though. Or pass them down. Yeah, so definitely, folks, definitely check out our long range courses this year. I'm telling you right now, and share that stuff with us, for us, please. We are getting, without a doubt, we are getting heavy. We're getting hit hard by Facebook. So outside of the people that know us and word of mouth and things like that, they are definitely restricting our reach, and we get new indicators of that all the time. Mm-hmm. So if you guys can share that stuff for us, we really appreciate that. Whether we're announcing courses, whether we're announcing videos, whatever else, help us out and share that. And you know, we'd appreciate it. It means a lot to us. Yep. Because it goes a long way. And that is definitely our main source of advertising right now. I wish it wasn't so, but can you talk about what to expect? Yeah, that's a great question, Mike. So what you can expect in our long-range classes, in our long-range level 1, what you can expect is we're going to teach you everything that you need to know from the beginning to end, right? So we're going to talk about guns, what makes a good gun, what makes ammo good ammo. We're going to talk about optics. You're going to leave there knowing how to set up a gun, knowing how to pick out the right gun, knowing how to pick out the right optic. You're going to know whether or not you prefer mil versus MOA. That comes down to a personal choice to some extent. And you're going to be able to use our guns, right? So you don't have to go out and spend a bunch of money, spend thousands of dollars, buy the wrong gun, buy the wrong equipment, and then, you know, come out, learn some stuff. Because folks, that happens almost every class. We get a lot of folks that come in from out of town and they're like, Gary, I just bought all this great stuff, and they're excited about it. And then their hearts get crushed as we're going through the PowerPoint, or they're having me look over their gun. I'm like, you know, this is wrong. This is wrong. You know, this gun is not going to do what you want it to do for whatever reason.
And we've had some people buy a gun to come to class and spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then be disappointed once they get out to the range.
Or it's just not set up right, or, you know, this. So you'll know how to set that rifle up. You'll know how to do everything. And then we're going to go out there. We're going to teach you the basics of internal, external, and terminal ballistics, right? So you have internal ballistics, what's going on when you squeeze the trigger, the ignition, everything that happens in this rifle to the point that the bullet actually exits the barrel. And then we're going to go into external ballistics, which is really what you guys want to know. Basically, the point of the muzzle, what that bullet does from time it leaves the muzzle to the time it impacts the target. So we're going to talk about density, altitude. We're going to talk about air density in general, wind, temperature, how all these things affect that round. and how to get that round on target at distance. And folks, if you've never shot long range, it is definitely a more chill, relaxed, unless you're doing competition. But as far as a learning environment and just going out there and recreationally shooting long range, it's chilled and relaxed. You're either shooting while laying down or you're shooting from a bench. So it doesn't require, I don't care how old you are, you can do long range shooting. I don't care how out of shape you are, you can do long range shooting. So it's just a fun thing to get into, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Theodore's daughter said, "Hi, Noah."
Aw.
Tell her hi.
Bobby said I set my
Yeah.
110 Elite the exact way.
Bobby, a lot of people have told me they did it exactly like I told them, and then upon expecting it,
I
come
knew
to
that
find
was
out
coming.
they don't follow directions all that way. What I say and what they hear are sometimes different. That's probably my fault, so I'll take some responsibility there, but we'll see.
Yep.
Hey, Gary, you got a question there
What's that?
from Tyler?
Do you guys loan rifles? Oh, yeah. So, yes, all of our – so this goes for all our courses, but I guess it's probably most important for long range is, yeah, we have student guns, right? So we'll loan you all the at no charge, by the way, Tyler. So we don't charge you anything extra for using our rifles. You use all our equipment. The only thing that you're going to pay for is the ammo that you shoot. So you come out. You don't need to bring anything. Heck, we'll provide you lunch. We do charge you for that, though. So, but all you got to do is show up, and we'll take care of everything else. We got Ear Pro. We got shooting mats. We'll show you the bags and stuff that we use. Which, by the way, grab it. That's one. Oh, I got nope. I got it. I already got my ear things off. Do you have sound coming through your earphones?
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, it comes and goes because this was not plugged in.
Gotcha. All right. So, rear bags, folks. Go to our website if you need a rear bag. If you don't know how to use a rear bag, come to our course and we'll talk about how to use it. But if folks, this is the straight lace tab gear bag. These two bags, and then it's another tab gear bag. I forget the name of it. But this is the straight lace tab gear bag, and then this is another one. I don't remember what to call, but these are my two favorite bags. I'd ordered a bunch of different ones. What was that?
So the straight lace is on back order right now because they can't get grommets of all.
They can't get grommets.
Yeah.
But this one's
I
for
talked to
sale.
Tab Gear. And
There's like the last one available. So if you go on a website, you can order that now. These are available. I like, you're going to need a couple different bags for a couple different shooting positions. And these two always get it done. Or sometimes, depending on the shooting position, maybe I need to get it done with both of them. But I always, these two bags, they're not very expensive either. But those are on our website. And if you're wondering what rear bags to buy, folks, I've tried them all. In my opinion, these are the best ones, and they're not that expensive either. Really nice. Tony says, hope you're doing well. Looking at Tika CTR, maybe in a KRG X-ray chassis. Thoughts? Sounds like waiting purchase build is best. Definitely want to catch a long range class. Yeah. So I haven't shot the Tika CTR. I've shot the T3X A1. So far, Tikas have been great rifles. Really can't say it enough. Michael says it's great. Let people use your rifles for long range. Other companies charge. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So first of all, folks, we do long range courses. How much we charge?
$749.
All right. So the 2-day long range course, $749. That is stupid cheap for long range courses, especially with the caliber instructors that we have. And then on top of that, we let you use our gear for free. So it's 2 days of shooting. You have a lot of fun. Again, we've had people come from all over the United States to come to our long-range courses. We've had lots of people that have gone to a lot of other long-range courses that they paid a lot more money for and come to ours, and they said, hands down, we provide better product, better instruction. And again, we try to make it as accessible for you as possible. So, yeah, no, Mike's absolutely right. Usually it's $200-300 just to rent the rifle.
I mean, these are not inexpensive items that we're letting you use for free.
No. And so again, come learn everything. We appreciate the business. You're going to have a great time. And have you built a tank trap shooting position for practicing? No, I have not. not built a tank
And
trap.
I always get this question when people call or talk to me or by email. You can bring your rifle if you have a long range rifle too. You can bring your own weapon to any course. But
I will say though, if you and Scott, we do have a tank trap shooting position out at Peacemaker, so that is there. So you'll be able to utilize that. One of the things we are going to do this year is, or I'm trying to get done this year, is now that we have a good long range facility that we can access easily and all the other good stuff, is I do want to get that competitive, basically a PRS introductory course. We got some guys that do PRS, so we'll get them in there. We'll teach a basic entry level to PRS, so you can kind of see, once you've taken the long range course, and if you're wanting to get into some competitive shooting, you know what to expect, you know what gear to buy, all the same stuff that we teach with every other course. When I took the TCCC course, one of the other students who was training, training junkie, his words, he said, your long range course was the best he's been to by far. Yeah. So, and, you know, again, folks, it's.
you better know who that was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
I think Mike.
Oh, Mike. Yeah, probably. But yeah, I mean, we've had lots of folks take our long range course, go take another course where they, you know, spent a whole bunch of money, worked with a bunch of famous guys in long range and did this, and they were like, bro, it was garbage. So again, we're going to teach you practical skills.
Yep.
Headed to Frontier practice next Saturday. Yeah, they're having some sort of thing up there.
Sean said, yep.
Yeah. What else we got? Any other questions? But yeah, folks, again, look for that review. You're going to like that review. By far, both from creative standpoint and a content standpoint and just execution standpoint, this is definitely the best video review that I've done. Probably I don't know if it's the most time that I've put into one, because there's been some that have been, but it's come out pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think you guys will enjoy that, and hopefully everybody else will as well.
I think Daniel Defense will be calling you to
Daniel
shoot
Defense,
their commercials for him.
Yeah, Daniel Defense should. It's a good one. And again, folks, you know, it's all the reviews that I do. I work really hard to make sure that I'm giving you objective information. Look, folks, I get excited about stuff. There's no doubt about it. You know, and I'll tell you right now, you know, my biggest regret is with this rifle up there, right? So what I did with that is I shot an overview of all the great features. That Savage Elite 110 has a lot of great features on it. And I put out the video with just the overview of all the different features and things like that. And I didn't shoot it at the time, and I regret that. And that's something that I will definitely never do again. I will definitely make sure that and I wasn't, and I explained that in the video. You know, I said, hey, this is a review of these features, but the reality is that's all that people need to hear to go out to buy something with you saying it, right? So, you know, one of the things I want to make sure that we do is I'm not putting out pieces of a video or anything else. You're going to hear exactly what's going on with that piece of kit, and regardless of what I'm doing, you know, you're going to hear objective information. I'm never going to get, you know, buy a, you know, no one, even if somebody sends me something for free, they're not buying, you know, there's nothing more important than reputation, right? No one's going to be able to pay for my reputation. Flex T. Let's see. I saw a question. What's your go-to skill for long range that doesn't break the bank? Well, that was, I didn't finish my thought earlier, Flex. That was actually what I was getting at earlier too. My long range scope that I often bought for our training guns and was just generally a really good scope for the money was these Bushnell Elites. The problem is, including, you know, Vortex was a good scope too, but that's the thing. I was shopping for a client that wanted a scope, and man, the Vortex new HDs, the new Bushnell XRS 3s that are coming out, they're not even out yet. I mean, you're talking close to $3,000 for those. So it's almost hard to justify buying some of these other scopes. As far as, you know, and these you could buy, the XRS you could buy on sale, XRS 2 you could buy on sale for like, I don't know, $1,800 at the time. But those are, all of these scopes are going up. So you basically have kind of a bottom tier and a top tier. And to be honest with you, Flex, I haven't tested out some of those other ones. And I think when I think John said he can send me his Avalon or whatever the name of those are. Arkin. That's what it is. So I will start to try to test some of those other scopes, but I haven't used some of the other kind of budget friendly scopes enough to give a decent recommendation. I think you can't go wrong. I haven't used them, but I don't think you can go wrong with like some of the Trijicon. They got some mid-level scopes, but I trust Trijicon as a name brand. I'll have to look at some reviews. I just haven't looked at some of those mid-level scopes to be honest with you. So I'll have to do some more research on that.
Well, your motto is buy once, cry once. So
buy once, cry once. Yeah, you know, again, I mentioned today that, you know, all you need to do, if you need to sell one of your kids or a kidney or whatever you need to do, you know, spend the money on a good optic, you will never regret it. And every time that I've ever gone cheap on an optic, folks, it eats at you. And because you know, you're like, oh, this is not, you know, it's just not gratifying. And you see all the issues that you think you're going to be able to overlook. Once you get out there and you start using it, that's all you see are those issues. And I know not everybody can afford a whole bunch of scope, and I get all those things. But if you can, you know, spend some time saving some money and get some of those higher end scopes. I will do an Arkin review without a doubt. That name keeps coming up. I've never even touched an Arkin, and I'm gonna have John Walsh. He's gonna send me his. I'll do a review on that and let you know.
I tried to tell you, Dan, get the Credo. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Dan didn't listen to me, and yeah.
Now you're just going to end up buying a Credo anyway, and now you've already bought something else and a Credo now.
Yeah. So Scott, I have two of the Bushnell Elite DMRs, and I love those. I love those rifles. Those optics. I don't know what they're going for right now, but if you can find a Bushnell Elite DMR or the DMR2 or the XRS at a decent price, they're great. They're great scopes. The new Vortex HD, like I said, I know that was over $3,000. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. I was like, oh, I know a budget scope we can get for you. Yeah, Mike, this is the one we had earlier was the 5-25. That's a beautiful scope. So I'd love to look through that 7-35.
Mike said, who needs two kidneys?
Exactly.
You only need one, right?
Exactly. And, you know, if you sell a kidney, it doesn't have to be your kidney. Number one, your kids have more than one kidney. You sell one
your
kid
wife has a kidney
and take one of the kidneys out of the kid, like
you can get two scopes.
Yeah. Or at least one really nice one. Yeah.
Yep.
What other long range gear questions you guys got? Any other questions about this particular rifle?
I don't think sounds come to mind anymore either.
No.
I
don't know. Well, I did.
John says he has 4 kids. Oh, 4 scopes, John.
Yeah, exactly. And again, or just, yeah. So you just take one kidney out of each kid. You can still keep the scope kids, you know, get rid of their kidney. They also have 2 sets of lungs or 2 lungs. I might be able to work something out there.
One set.
I'll get a rifle and go hunting. Someday I'll get a rifle. We all live busy lives, that's for sure. The other thing that I would definitely recommend if you're doing any hunting, whether it's hunting, whether it's competition shooting, or just recreational shooting, is definitely the Bog Death Grip. Folks, the more I use those, the more I love them. They're just so great, and they're so inexpensive when it comes to a shooting tripod. So one of the guys that was watching my video that I did on that, I didn't know this. He was disabled. He's like, what do you recommend? Would you recommend this for a disabled person? And that's obviously a really great idea. But come to find out, he sent me pictures, or he sent me a link to, he ended up buying, and I didn't know they had this, but the Bog Death Grip chair. So it's a really big, heavy duty chair. It has a tripod basically attached to it. It moves around, has a rest on there. That thing looked pretty sweet. So that may be another thing you need to look at.
Shannon asked, what caliber do you prefer for hunting?
Man, I would go 6.5. if you have a 308, 308's great. I just prefer 6.5 for almost everything. 6.5 does everything that 308 does, but a lot better, and then some. It's hard. Google says a black market price for a kidney is $262,000.
Dang. I'm
Well,
selling a kidney.
You'll definitely be able to get at least one Night Force scope, maybe. I like the ATM 4K night scopes. Good price, works nice. I've actually shot through some of the ATM. They seemed really nice. I haven't done a lot of thermal or night vision shooting since I've been out of the Army. We used to do that all the time. One thing I meant to tell you guys, speaking of that, and I mentioned in my review, they do have the standard 20 MOA rail here, but for excuse me, $165, they will sell you an extended Picatinny rail that mounts on here as well, and that's exactly for that. So you can mount forward mounted night optics, thermals, things like that. Scott says, I really like my Tika T3X TAC A1, but for the money, the DD Pro is hard to beat. It is. It is. Both are great rifles. Both are great rifles. And again, I kind of crap on the 110 Elite up there. But folks, still, for the money, it's still a badass rifle. It's just, again, I have issues with the fact that I have a real heartburn, the fact that Savage knows about an issue and has continued to not fix it. But it is.
But
what it is.
your fix worked on.
It does, yeah.
Worked on that.
I mean, that thing is cycling and working perfectly fine. I'm just a little sour. I'm a little sour. That's my life in general. Ask someone. What else? Anything else?
Looks like about it.
Well, folks, look, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you got some value. Look for that review to drop. I think you'll enjoy it. The other thing, folks, I love criticism. I love, productive,
You do?
good, positive. Not from you. Not from you. She's mean about things. She just hurts me. I love some constructive criticism. If there's anything that we can do better for our videos, live streams, all that stuff, email me. Help put it up here. I don't care. I'm always looking to improve on the content that we put out, the information that we put out, all of those things. So if there's something we can do to improve, make sure when you're watching our reviews, make sure you're going through and doing that very critically. If I did something wrong or could do something better, or I say something wrong, let me know. I will tell you, I know that when there's a few things that I get wrong. It's funny because when you're doing a video, you don't even realize what you say half the time. And I don't even realize some of the dumb things I say until I'm back there on the editing machine. And there's been lots of times when there was literally no, why did I say that? Or why did I do this? Or whatever it is. And there's real no way.
I ask that question all the time.
That's true. There's no way. There was some of those things, there was no way to really edit it out without reshooting that piece. And I couldn't do it for whatever reason. So anyways, let me know, regardless of what's going on, what's the difference between tactical carbine and LVPO class? So the difference between the LPVO class and the tactical carbine is that we're going to be shooting a distance, right? So we'll be using a powered optic. Now, if you don't have a low power variable optic, you can use whatever you got. But the point is that we're going to be shooting at a distance. So we're going to move past. Most people have never shot past 100 yards with their carbine. They have no idea what they can really do. So we'll be shooting out to 400 to 600 yards. So that's the main thing that we're going to be doing. We'll also show you the capabilities of how versatile and the many different things that you can do with a low power variable optic. But if you don't have one, don't feel like you can't come to the course. Skids, y'all really helped me get my long range rifle going from optics to gear to rifle self. Well, man, we're happy to do that. Yep.
Yeah.
Brandon, we appreciate your business, and we always appreciate your support, and we love to see you on here. Scroll down. Was there another question? I saw. Oh, what did Tony say?
What about scope mounts?
Scope mounts. Well, things get complicated there, Tony. That is a whole segment unto itself. So again, there's a few brands I would recommend. Scope mounts are easy to make and cheap to buy. The ones that are easy to make that aren't made right. I mean, so they're, you know, scope mounts in general easy to make. They're just really hard to make right. And I'm telling you right now, I can't tell you how many people I come to courses or I see on the range or whatever else that went with cheap scope mounts, and they're just having issues, right? From a lot of, and then it also goes into that they didn't mount it correctly. There's a lot of things that go into that. You're going to pay about $200 at a minimum for good scope mounts. So just know that. And we're talking about the scope rings. So we got the scope base down here and we got the scope rings. There's also, you can buy, I have one over here. I had one over here, my Spur mount. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Someone moved it.
Oh, it's my fault. I'm sure.
I guarantee it.
Oh,
Anyways, you can buy the Spur single mounts. Those are good too. Those cost a lot of money. Those are like $400.
Makes it Spur mount.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with the Spur mount. I think for most people, Spur is more mount and screen rings than you need. But I will tell you, here's the thing. So one of my clients that I'm putting together a rifle for right now, we ended up going with a Spur mount on his. He bought the Tika T3. So that Tika T3 comes with a 0 MOA rail, and you're going to need 20 MOA on there. Now we can either spend $100 and mount a new rail on there, which is, that one's actually kind of a pain in the butt to do. And then he's going to pay me some money to mount it for him. So now we're, you know, $100 into the rail, and then he's going to pay me some money to have to install it. And so now we're, you know, close to $200 as it is, then plus $200 rings. Whereas you can just buy the Spur mount that has 20 MOA built into it. So it's actually, it's cheap or cheaper to go the way of the Spur mount. It just depends, but they are the best. There's no doubt about that. They're probably not needed for most people, but they're really good. And if you can afford it, it's a good thing to get. But again, when it comes to brands, go with Badger Ordnance, go with Night Force. Vortex is making their higher end rings. Those are pretty good. There's a couple, Bobro. There's a couple. Midwest Industries is making good mounts, and those are a little bit cheaper, although they're going up in their prices too. That's what all these companies do. They start making a really good product. They get everybody hooked on it, and it's cheaper than, you know, some of the higher tiers. But as soon as they realize they're just goes a higher tier and they get some name recognition, they start charging the same price as the big names. Did you ever find it? Oh, I thought you were off looking for something I want. So now, but the other problem that you get into is you start getting into an issue with calculating ring height, all that other stuff. So those are all other variables and factors into it. Did you? Mm-hmm. So if you don't know what a Spur mount is, this is what a Spur mount. So this is all one piece. What's really cool about this too is you can start attaching different accoutrements over here. It's already built in, so you can put a scope level. I don't know if you guys can see that all that well. You can put a chainsaw on there, but no, you can put your anti-cant devices. You can put the clinometer, which is a angle indicator on there. You know, you can do all kinds of cool stuff with these, but they are super, super solid. They're super well built. I believe they're made in Sweden, but it's all from one machine piece. This was a one single piece. Then they cut this thing open. They can be a little bit difficult to mount the way that these or get your scope in there. It's easy to go onto the rail. I don't like, they have this wedge thing that's supposed to help you get it level. I've never liked that personally. It didn't quite do what I needed to do. I didn't feel like it did. But anyways, these are as good as it gets. Those are really good, but they're also $400. Oh, but they do have a really accurate bubble level right in the back that's built into the mount itself, which is also nice. Accutac is another brand of rings that I found really good, and some of their rings also comes with a built-in anti-cant device. So
you like the Badger rings too, don't you?
The Badger rings. Yeah. What else? What other ones we order?
We always use well, for like AR we use
Midwest Industries.
Midwest Industries,
Bobro, ADM makes the good ones.
Yeah.
For those are AR cantilever mounts.
Hawkhill makes a Spur dope
Yep.
card holder.
Yep. So that's another thing that they're making more and more useful attachments, not just BS attachments, but very useful attachments that you can. But they also make I don't know if Hawk Hill does, but there's also card holders that'll come off your rail. But these things can be useful, and I will say that if you're going to be doing some competitive shooting, this is probably a really good investment because your rifle is going to get banged around more, your scope's going to get banged around more. You're just going to be a little more heavy-handed with it a lot of times, and there's just so much surface area in this thing, and the way this mounts down, it's holding that. You're going to break the optic before you would shift it around in this thing. There's just so much pressure evenly being applied to that optic that it is never going to shift on you. It's hard to beat. Jamie Lee McFadden, hello to you, good sir. Hawk Hill makes a lot of good stuff, including their barrels, which you can never find their barrels anymore either. Any other questions about this rifle? It has 10 sling attachment points on this thing. So if you can't find a sling attachment point that works for you, something's wrong with you. You're like Jabba the Hutt or something. I don't know. If it was just one more somewhere. All right, folks, I think we're going to wrap it up. Listen, I really do appreciate everybody. Hey, Scott, come on over. Come shoot it. I really appreciate everybody tuning in these things. We'll continue to do different segments and continue to have people on. Yeah, so I just appreciate you guys tuning in. It's cool to hang out with you guys and talk a little bit and have you guys ask some questions and just interact. Please go check out our courses. We love to have you out. Make sure you go to our website. We really appreciate your business. Every single one of those orders that comes through our website, we see, we deal with, we package up personally. I do most of the packaging.
No, you don't.
I package it, I weigh it, I put love into it.
No. Nice handwritten notes.
Handwritten notes.
No, that's not him.
I do that.
No, you don't.
I do that. Sometimes just be nice to give her credit. I sign Summer's name because I'm very thoughtful like that. Make sure you go to ParamountTactical.com. Go check out our upcoming training schedule. Yeah. So also look for that review. Share that review. That review is money. It's pretty good. It's pretty good if I do say so myself. John, we'll be sending you a U.S. Optics anti-cant device. Folks, go buy some bags. Go buy some courses. We want to see you. We want to go buy some rifles, whatever you need. Anyways, look, we really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful and safe weekend. And yeah, stay armed, stay ready, and we'll talk to you soon.